Capricorn, how are you? Let's do a reading for your current energy, shall we? As always, please take what works, leave what doesn't. We all know who we are in the story. And I sure appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. And if you appreciate what I do here, help me out. Hit that like button right there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really makes a difference to my channel, and I would love to see my channel continue to grow. So help me out. All right, let's see. One more shuffle for you, Capricorn, and let's see what is going on with you for this upcoming week. Now, we have the Ten of Cups to the Eight of Cups coming in reverse. Now, for some of you, I mean, there could be a home situation that you know, you can't just walk away from. I mean, maybe you're in a relationship that's just not vibing. You know, I think you're getting a little bit serious here with this Queen of Swords being above you. You know, but I feel as if there is a situation that's going on at home that, you know, you're really struggling with, all right? It's not the first time you've dealt with this. We're in the Eight of Cups here, and it is reversed. But you don't want to walk away from your family and just kind of, you know, make the big change that would upset the apple cart. All right, we do have here in the recent past, we've got the Seven of Wands coming in reverse. You haven't been saying anything, but I feel like you haven't been happy, all right, especially when it comes to your home life. Now, you know, whether you have a family or you don't, I just get the sense that, you know, this Queen of Swords says, you know, I got to start getting things in order, you know, because I need to make a change. I need to like shift things around so that I don't feel like I just want to check out. And here at the base of what's going on is the Page of Wands. All right, so there is this need for some of you to find some newness, you know, some excitement, something to inject into your life, maybe even into the family, that will bring a little bit of sense of fire, a sense of brightness, you know, something, you know, to kind of shift the energies out of a situation that I think, you know, you've been really not feeling very positive about. Now, we do have the Ten of Wands here in the near future, and it is reversed. I think you've been carrying a lot of weight. I think you've been carrying a lot of, you know, concern. Maybe there is a problem with your partner. All right, we do have the Lovers card here coming in reversed. And, you know, you haven't really said what has been really bothering you. Maybe it's time to have that conversation. Maybe it's really time for you to really open up, you know, and say what you got to say. You know, if you're not happy and they think that everything is all good, you know, you need to speak up. And I'm feeling like that's what this energy of the Seven of Wands wants you to do. It wants you to speak up, you know, before it gets to a point where, you know, what you have to say, you know, is now, you know, coming out like a volcano, you know, it's erupting because you've held back for so long. Now, the Queen of Swords, she gets things in order, all right? When we have the energy of the Queen of Swords, this is about, you know, figuring everything out, what is working, what isn't working. And I'm just feeling like your life has been so serious, and you just need to lighten up a little bit. And, you know, this Page of Wands can indicate, you know, let's lighten up a little bit. Let's go explore. Let's do something new. Let's do something different. Let's find something to do that's a little bit more exciting. You know, if you have a child, you know, there could be a situation between you and your children. You know, there could be a child that, you know, wants to leave, you know, and they want to take off and go do something. You know, and again, it's just like, why does everybody want to leave me? You know, why is the family unit thing, you know, falling apart here? And I just figure that, you know, there's a lot that's happening that is not being talked about. Especially with the Seven of Wands coming in reverse. It's like we got to ground into what's really going on. And, you know, you have to be your own advocate. So you need to speak up, you know, and maybe there is a situation going on with a child in the house, you know, and, you know, you have your own opinions, but you haven't been saying anything. And again, I don't want you to come off like a volcano erupting, you know, because now everything is kind of piled up and, you know, now you're ready to explode. So I feel as if, you know, the need for you to open up this week is really important, all right, Capricorn? And then we have the Six of Wands coming out. If you do, you're going to feel much better. You're going to feel better. Everybody in the house is going to feel better. Your partner's going to feel better because now we know where everybody stands. But, you know, you need to open up, all right? Here we have the Four of Pentacles, all right? He's sitting on this chest. He doesn't want to open up. You know, a lot of times there's a fear of, you know, well, if I start to say what it is I'm going to say, you know, maybe things are going to change in such a way that, you know, I could screw myself. Well, I just feel like, you know, you need to bring balance into your life, all right? And you need to like nip things in the bud before they start to fester. And I feel like things are festering because here we are in a 10 of Wands energy, all right? It's reversed. It's like you just can't carry this load anymore. Right? So you need to let go. You need to speak up. You need to say what's really going on. You can't hold back anymore, because that's the problem. And I think, you know, we've got this card here of the Justice. You know, there's these two cats arguing. I mean, you've been avoiding, you know, saying what you need to say, how you're really feeling. For some of you, maybe you have been considering divorcing your person, but you haven't wanted to do that because of the family, you know, and you've been avoiding saying all of these things that have been really happening within you, you know, for fear of, you know, bringing up arguments. I don't think you want anybody fighting around you, and you sure don't want to fight, because if you start to, like I said, you're going to erupt like this volcano because you've been holding it in for so long. You know, so I do sense that, you know, it's time for a situation to finally come to an end. If this is something going on between you and your person, here we have the 10 of Swords. Enough is enough, all right? Like I said, you don't want to walk away from this family. You don't want to walk away from this relationship, but I'm feeling like there's a situation that's brewing between you and your person that, you know, it's been happening for a while where, you know, you've been feeling really hurt, stabbed in the back, you know, like maybe you don't trust your person. We do have the Lovers card coming in reversed, you know, and I think it's time that you guys really sit down and have a conversation about the state of your relationship. You know, are we at a point now where, you know, it's time for me to walk? I mean, is this where we're at? Are things over? I mean, this isn't what you want moving forward. So either we have this conversation, or, you know, an end will happen, you know, and I don't think you really want it, because here you don't really want to walk away, but also you're not happy. All right. So, you know, I do think that for some, you know, divorce is one of these things that you have been thinking about. You know, I mean, like I said, you know, the Queen of Swords, she gets things in order. And sometimes I think, you know, you get a little cold, you know, a little bit reserved, you know, and, you know, you don't want to show any emotions. But I think this is one of these weeks where you can't hold back anymore, you know, because you're about to erupt, and we don't want you to erupt. All right. So listen, do what you have to do, you know, to find that place where you can really have a conversation. You know, because you want to go in a new direction, right? And if, you know, we're at that point where we got to really look at this relationship and it's not working for me, and you start, I mean, there's no going back, all right? Once you make these moves, you know, you have set something in motion, and you just want to make sure that, you know, things are really, really clear. And like I said, you know, you can no longer carry this burden that you've been holding on to. This has been an uphill battle for you. And, you know, it's time for you to open up and bring some balance back into your life, you know, however that is, you know. But, you know, sometimes, you know, you need to know whether or not it's truly over between you and your partner. You know, you need to know where you stand, and that's what the Queen of Swords is asking of you. Where do we stand on all of this? You know, I mean, is this it? Is it over? I mean, should we, you know, divorce? Should we stay? Should we get counseling? What should we do? And I think that's where you are right now. And this is why you're really kind of coming off as being a little cold, a little, you know, solid in your own energies, you know, trying to be like the stoic one. Very Capricorn-like, you know, but I feel like this is a week where, you know, you've got to let go of some of this. All right, so that's what I've got for you, for a Capricorn out there. Please take what works, leave what doesn't. We all know who we are in the story. I sure appreciate each and every one of you. And if you appreciate what I do here, help me out. Hit that like button, all right? Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really makes a difference to my channel. And like I said, I'd love to see my channel grow. So be happy, be healthy, be kind, and I'll see you later. Bye now.